How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today we're going to be looking at how much you can stack over the next year, depending on how much you want to invest, and what your goal should be, depending on how much you can invest. Now, of course, this is not financial advice. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not telling you to buy Bitcoin. I'm not telling you to buy anything. All I'm doing is showing you some fun numbers that can kind of help you understand where you're at in relation to maybe the rest of the world and what you have to do to get where you want to be. Now, if you like this kind of thing, let me know in the comments section because I love doing these like once a month or something like that with different variations. So let me know if you like these so that way I can continue to do them in the future. Let me know if there's any crypto specifically that you want me to do this for. I might be able to do it for some different ones. And also, if you're watching this video, hopefully you're bullish on Bitcoin. If not, this probably isn't the video for you. Now, hit subscribe, turn on that bell notification so you can see future videos. And if you want to know what I'm buying and selling, you can check out the Patreon. If you want to trade, there's a link down there to BITGET. Now, let me make sure that I'm out of the way here. Bitcoin has a supply of 21 million coins. Now, the available supply is much lower than that right now. It's about 19.5 million Bitcoin. That's a circulating supply, but the available Bitcoin, like on exchanges, is just a few million. A lot of Bitcoin has been lost over time. A lot of it isn't moving like in Satoshi's wallets. So I'm going to estimate the available supply of Bitcoin around 14 million Bitcoin. With the amount of humans on Earth around 8 billion, that means each person can have about 0.00175 Bitcoin on average. And that doesn't even account for all the people that are just going to hold forever. Even though they have access to their crypto, they just realize that they would rather like loan against it or something like that. So we continuously see more people lose their Bitcoin as well. So this number is probably a little bit high even on average, but that's what the average person on Earth can have. Now keep in mind, a lot of people probably will never buy Bitcoin. They're going to be, even if we have a lot of adoption, still there are a lot of people, hundreds of millions, if not billions of people that don't even have access to internet right now. So I don't think that necessarily everyone will have 0.00175. A lot of people will have zero, but we're going to assume that in this first scenario, you're just trying to become the average person. Then we'll look at what it takes or what you could get if you had $5 a day. You basically just cut out Starbucks. And then we're going to talk about some other important numbers too. So in this first scenario, if you just want what the average person has, all you have to do is invest $5.30 a month over the next year. We're going to assume you started a month ago. You started last month because you had foresight and you knew that you're going to invest about $5 a month. You would be able to get up to 0.00176 Bitcoin. Now, how much would that be per day? About 17.6 cents. So if you're watching out there, you have a child or something, put 20 cents a day towards their Bitcoin fund and they will beat the average person on Earth. And that's just going for the next year. That's assuming Bitcoin's price just moves steadily up from about where it is now. And some of these are from about a month ago. I left these first numbers here, but let's assume Bitcoin moves up just to be even cautious, our buying in price. Let's say it's 29,000, 28,000 in there. Over the next year, if we get up to about $40,000 by the time of the halving, you'd be able to get up to 0.00176 Bitcoin. Now, if you wanted, you could just invest $64 here today, and you could even beat out how much Bitcoin you would get in this scenario. So let's move on to the next one. What if you had $5 a day? You started last month, you cut out Starbucks. And that would even be a cheap Starbucks, I guess, because $5 doesn't buy you a lot at Starbucks, I feel like these days. It's usually $6 or $7. But let's assume you went every single day. So you cut out Starbucks. You had $150 a month to invest. I think most people watching this channel can invest that much. If you can't invest that much, it's okay. You'll get there eventually. Just keep on working on increasing your income. $150 a month, starting at $28,000, going up. You would have about 0.05 Bitcoin after a year, just short of it. Now, that's awesome. That's about 30x what the average person is going to be able to buy over time. It's a significant level. I mean, if you think too, if you're bullish on Bitcoin and you think Bitcoin's going to hit $1 million one day, that's $50,000. That's a new car. That is life-changing money to a lot of people. That's an awesome start for your retirement too. I mean, most people would be very happy with that, especially if we're looking at the next 10, 15 years of an investment. That's a significant amount. And you would have invested over that time about $1,800. Okay, now I changed some of the numbers around too, just to show you what you could do over 10 years investing into Bitcoin. And I moved the price starting at about $28,000. I simplified it. I said basically we're going to move up for 2 years, then we're going to move down for 2 years, then up for 2 years, then down for 2 years. And basically you're just going to buy $150 no matter what throughout this entire time. Now I should probably CPI adjust this, but we're just going to say $5 a day because this probably would make a big difference if you did CPI adjust it. But it goes up to about 113,000, then down. Again, I wasn't focused too much on the numbers here, but it goes down to about 33,000 in the next bear market, and then goes up to about 300,000, about 292, and then down to about 85,000, then up for the last couple of years. So again, 10 years out, we hit $1 million on Bitcoin. So 2033, and you invest the entire time. By the end, you're investing a lot less. Keep in mind, you're buying a lot less with your money. The dollar's not going to go as far. But over that time period, you would have been able to get about 0.218 Bitcoin. It might not sound like a lot, but again, you are investing about $18,000, and by the end, you're going to have $220,000 over 10x in 10 years. And it's not like you're investing it all up front. If you're investing it all up front, you would have about a 30 to 40x. So this can be life-changing money. Again, we're talking about $220,000 after 10 years of investing, and you're not investing that much. I mean, this in an S&P 500 would be so much less. If you got a 10% return in the S&P 500 over 10 years, investing $150 a month, you'd have about $30,000. Now, of course, this is only going to happen if you're really bullish on Bitcoin and you actually do think it's going to go up this high, and if you're able to weather the storm. I'm personally probably not going to hold all my Bitcoin for 10 years. I'm going to be trying to sell when we have blow-off tops. I'm going to be accumulating heavier on the bottoms, so hit subscribe if you want to see what I'm doing there. But that is an amazing thing, how much you can accumulate investing just a small amount every single day. There are a lot of millionaires on earth, about 55 million, they say. I think it's higher than that now. But that means that based on the available supply, each millionaire would be able to buy about a quarter of a Bitcoin. So if you want to get a quarter of a Bitcoin, what would you need to invest? Well, you could start, again, over the next year, investing $775 a month. So that is more, obviously, than the last example. You would invest just short of $10,000, about $25.5 a day. And by the end of this time, you'd have about 0.257 Bitcoin. Now, if you just bought Bitcoin now with $9,300, you'd be able to buy over a third of a Bitcoin. So just keep that in mind. We are assuming Bitcoin's price goes up. So if you're able to invest earlier rather than later, still dollar cost averaging for mental clarity, so you don't put everything in right away, but maybe dollar cost average in over a few months or something like that. That seems like a good idea to me, but that scenario would give you a quarter of a Bitcoin. Now, a lot of people talk about whole coiners. They want to get to a whole coin. It takes a long time. Even with Bitcoin at $26,000, $27,000, it does take a long time to get to a full Bitcoin. But let's say you wanted to get there, and assuming Bitcoin's price continues to move up, you'd have to invest about $99 a day. So that is a significant amount. I mean, we're talking about $36,000 over the course of the year. Now, again, if you just put in $27,000 now, you could buy one. You could buy one right up front, so you would save yourself a significant amount. I mean, we're talking about saving yourself 20% on the Bitcoin, compared to dollar cost averaging. If Bitcoin's price goes up, keep in mind Bitcoin's price could go down too. Now, what if you wanted to hit a 10 coiner status? I forgot what this mean, what they call it exactly, like maybe shrimp or lobster or something like that. Or crab, maybe crab. having 10 Bitcoin is a significant amount. Obviously, a lot of people think that Bitcoin's going to hit $100,000 in the next cycle. I mean, we hit $68,000 in the last one. If we hit $100,000 in this next cycle, you would have $1 million. You would increase your net worth by $750,000 from where the price is now, basically, maybe $730,000. Now, a lot of people can't afford to become a 10 coiner, but if you have a significant size portfolio already, if you have a lot of income, maybe you can do it. Now, in this scenario, I wanted to stagger more of the investment up front than on the back end, so that way you could get a little bit better pricing. Basically, the first month you're going to invest the most. You're going to invest $48,000. It's going to buy 1.714 Bitcoin. And then you're going to decrease that amount by 10% every month. So you're going to do 90% of the previous month's investment. So overall, you'll invest $344,000 and you'll get your 10 Bitcoin. Now, obviously, if you had all that right now, you could buy more Bitcoin. That's just how it works, right? You could buy 10 Bitcoin for $265,000 today. Again, most people won't be able to get there, but if you were able to get 10 Bitcoin and we go into the next bull run, as long as you're not stupid, like investing a ton more money at the top, you're going to set yourself up really well, especially if you consider taking profits, especially if you really think Bitcoin's going to be a huge asset long-term for institutions to invest into, for banks to invest into, for countries to invest into. There's so many bullish things happening right now. I don't think we've ever had a setup like this, and this is all happening at the same time that we have the supply going down for the first cycle ever, because typically there's been so much mined that the supply is going up on exchanges, but now we actually have the supply going down when everyone's trying to get in. This seems like an easy setup for institutions to make a lot of money, and they love to make money, obviously. They will manipulate price to make money, and in my opinion, as long as you don't go all in at any one time, as long as you're not too long on Bitcoin, I'm talking about putting in like the majority of your investments or all your money or anything like that, as long as you can handle the volatility, you'll probably make some money over the coming years. Now, let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. I appreciate you watching. Thank you so much. Let me know if you like these, and I'll see you in the next one.